Okay. Hear me out. Yes, I was wrong. Your girl was wrong. It does happen from time to time. It will happen again. I'm sure of it. But I was wrong about Ryan Gosling, okay? He's not the cocky ass that I thought he was. So if you want to figure out what changed my mind, how I feel about him now, and to get a surprise movie review because I did go see his newest film, stay tuned. What's up, everybody? Thank you so much for joining me today. If you are new here, I'm not only on YouTube, I'm on a bunch of other social media platforms. Kill the description box below. Follow me everywhere. As I alluded, I was wrong about Ryan Gosling, but there's a story behind why I feel the way that I feel about him. Is this going to be a diatribe video about Ryan Gosling with a surprise movie review at the end? Yes. So stick around, listen to me yammer on, then kill the comments below and let me know what you think of Ryan Gosling and what's your favorite movie of his. So let me set the stage for you. In the beginning, when your final girl was just a squirt, and by squirt, I mean I was in high school, right? I shied away from everything that was quote unquote supposedly trendy or cool or of the norm. I was a nonconformist, if you will. Shocking, I know. But I feel like now, being an older woman, I kind of realize that most teenagers felt that way. They wanted to be nonconformists. They wanted to stand out in the crowd. They wanted to be different than everyone. That's how I felt. But that merely is just setting the stage for you guys to kind of explain how I decided what things I was gonna watch, what things I was gonna do, what things I was gonna like. I shied away from all the things that everyone else was doing. So all the movies that everyone was watching and talking about, I didn't want to watch them. I wanted to watch movies nobody else was watching. Hence all the cheesy B horror movies. Not a lot of teenagers my age and girls were watching cheesy B horror movies like I was. So therefore, I was an individual, right? Well, as I got older, a movie came out called The Notebook. I feel really stupid even talking about this movie. Just barely post high school. But I was entering into my college years and all the girls were talking about The Notebook and this romance movie by Nicholas Sparks and blah. And I was like, I'm not fucking watching that. Okay? That's not my jam. Nope, not watching it. Nope. Well, as I got older, and nonconformity then became the cool thing to do, I was like, well, that's dumb. So then I started being more willing to watch and do the things that previously I thought were dumb because now nonconformity is cool. So I'm going to go back and not give a fuck about all the things that I felt were really important. Here comes The Notebook, right? It's just in my face. Everybody loved this movie. There had to have been a reason why people loved this movie. So I gotta watch it. I gotta know now. Now I can know why this movie was held in such high regard. I watched it and I fucking hated it. I'm not gonna speak to the movie quality and the story writing and the performances because fine, all of that was fine, but it's just not for me. It's not my kind of movie. I don't want to be on the verge of tears through an entire movie and then have it end like that. So that put a complete disdain for Ryan Gosling in my heart. I did not appreciate him in that movie. One thing you gotta know about me is I loathe the personality type of someone who knows they're hot shit, and acts accordingly. I hate that. I hate it. It is possible to be an attractive person and be super cool and not act like an asshole, okay? And I'm not saying Ryan did any of that. It's just in my eyes through that movie, I was just like, ugh, this guy clearly thinks he's hot shit. He knows he's an attractive man, which back then, I guess I didn't really find him to be that attractive. He kind of reminded me of Ellen DeGeneres in just like the smallest of ways. So I was completely turned off by him. I, from then on, would not watch any of his movies. I mean, if he was in a movie as like a side character, it wouldn't make or break the movie for me, but I wasn't going out and searching for movies that he was the star of, right? Well, then came along many a year later, a movie called La La Land. Everyone, again, was talking about this movie and how great it was, and it won awards, or did it win awards? I don't even fucking know. It was like nominated for awards, whatever. So I was like, okay, well, here we go again. So fine, I'll watch it. I'll give it a shot. People like this movie. I like the chick in that movie. I like musicals. So how bad could it be? 20 or 30 minutes in to La La Land, and I turned it the fuck off. It's literally the only movie in the history of my movie watching I ever just turned off. It was boring. I couldn't get into it. I couldn't wipe my loathing for Ryan Gosling out of my eyes while I watched this movie. So I just couldn't. So I gave up. I gave up on Ryan Gosling for good. So that is the tortured story of why Ryan Gosling is just not for me. But along came another movie that I was this close to not watching. And that is this one. Barbie of all movies. Why this one? I didn't go to see this in theaters. I didn't really care about this movie at all. I wasn't going to watch it. I wasn't going to take the chance. However, Margaret Robbie is super awesome and I love her a lot. And I got myself in a situation where I was able to watch this for free. This movie changed it around a little bit for me. Here's the second thing that's pretty important about me is I absolutely love people are 100% willing to humiliate themselves for the sake of comedy. When somebody really puts it all on the line and is willing to humiliate themselves to make a joke or make something funny, I love comedy. I love people who are charming and hilarious. You guys know this. I say it all the fucking time. But when people are willing to do that to make me laugh, I love it. I love it. I am all in on those people. And for some reason, this movie showed me a different perspective, I guess, of our boy Ryan. The fact that he was willing to be in this movie, wear these clothes, sing this dance, do these things, and still try and remain somewhat attractive in a way, and then those two things combined just made him look absolutely ridiculous. I was like, okay, this is different. This is a different Ryan Gosling than I have seen before. So this movie was like, call it a gateway movie. Because though I like Barbie, it's not my favorite movie in the world. I mean, I'll watch it again probably. It was funny enough. The ending, I didn't like the ending. I didn't like what happened in the end. So here I am, sitting back, thinking about it. I actually had thoughts about this. This is how deep this goes. So I decided I'm going to watch some more of his movies because I want to give him another chance. People seem to like him. Here was my plan. My plan was to go watch the one movie that I know every man loves. And I say that because I don't hear women talk about this movie a lot. Maybe women like it. I don't know. But I know men like this movie. And I know men hold Ryan Gosling to the highest regard because of this movie. I went and watched Drive. And man, did this movie step up to the plate. This movie was actually as cool as people say it is. It has some action. It has some gore in it. And it also has an underlining kind of love story. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I don't like love stories. I do. I'm a girl. I like rom-coms and all the things. I'm less of a true drama romance person. I don't dig those as much because I am a comedy girl. I need my comedy. So it kind of almost has to be a rom-com. So maybe that's where The Notebook fell flat for me. I don't know. It was a try hard. It was trying too hard to make me cry. It pissed me off. But this movie was great. This movie was absolutely great. Is kind of what turned me around, the complete 180 on Ryan Gosling. Barbie got me halfway there. This movie got me all the way there. So then I was like, okay, well, if he can do a movie like that, what else can he do? And there was another movie that has been recommended to me several times that, once again, I never bothered to watch because he was in it, but I watched it. And that is The Place Beyond the Pines. And I'm not going to lie to you, I don't see this movie around a lot. People don't talk about this movie a lot. This has been recommended to me by maybe 2 people in my entire career on social media. But this is a great movie. This movie has so much depth to it. It is unbelievable how they put it all together and made a cohesive story out of it. This movie starts off with a story, and then right in the fucking middle of the movie, it drops the story, does a 180, and picks up anew with another story that they were kind of sprinkling in all the way up until that point. And then it finishes the movie in this other story. I don't know if I explained that very well. But if you've seen this movie, you know what I'm talking about. You know what this movie does. And it does it very well. And Ryan Gosling is amazing in this movie. The costuming of him in particular is phenomenal. I absolutely loved every single outfit he wore in this movie. I'm realizing now you guys are going to get a bunch of different movie reviews. I enjoyed him in Drive, but this movie turned me on a little bit. Okay? I'll admit it. So after that, I was like, ooh, okay, what's next? What else can I watch? That's 3 movies now that I have liked him in. Okay? Here's 2 movies that I didn't like him in. Here's 3. So now he's one up on himself. So after doing a little digging, I came across this movie. Fracture. I've never heard about this movie in my life. Nobody has ever recommended me this movie. I merely found it from doing research, and it has Anthony Hopkins in it. And this movie has a plot line that I absolutely love. I love true crime / court procedurals. I find it fascinating what they do behind the scenes and all the things and the crime and the forensics and the stuff. The rules. The rules these people have to jump through to make a case win is interesting. But if you haven't seen Fracture, definitely check it out. This is a court procedural. This is about a man who kills his wife, and that is not a spoiler because it happens literally within like the first 5 minutes of the movie. And then the rest of the movie is Ryan Gosling as a lawyer trying to win this case, trying to prove that this man killed his wife. And it is a roller coaster. It is a roller coaster, and it kind of shows how much bullshit there is going on behind the scenes and some of this stuff. But this is a really good movie. It is very deep. It is a hard drama. There's not a lot of action in it. Ryan Gosling is charming. There are some jokes, but it's not a comedy. It's not really funny, but it is incredibly interesting. All of these movies with him in it, in an effort to just go back and see what I've been missing, have all been worth it. All 4 of these movies are fantastic and are high recommendations for me. If you have not seen these 2 movies, Place Beyond the Pines and Fracture, go watch them. Now you know why I didn't like him, and my journey to now I am practically in love with him. Ryan, if you're watching this, hit a girl up, would ya? But without any further ado, let's get into the movie review for The Fall Guy. So I went to the movie theater this past weekend to watch this movie. I've been seeing all the promotional material for this movie, and it has been outstanding. He is willing to humiliate himself for the sake of a joke. I don't know if you guys saw this promotional item, but him and his co-star went onto the red carpet dressed up as Beavis and Butthead, and it was freaking hilarious. Everything about the promotion for The Fall Guy has been 100%. My movie theater also was giving away these tiny posters for free. So of course I had to snag one. How cool is that? I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but it's a tiny Fall Guy poster. I already went into this movie thinking it was going to be awesome. I love action movies. You guys know that my dad, when I was younger, he pushed action. My mom pushed horror. I was an Arnold Schwarzenegger girl. I was a Jackie Chan girl. I was a Jean-Claude Van Damme girl. I took Taekwondo and became a first-degree black belt specifically because I loved action movies. So this movie had a deep effect on me when I left the movie theater. I've spoken to a bunch of you on Instagram about it. A lot of you reached out to me and wanted to know what I thought of the movie. And I basically told everybody the exact same thing. This movie is awesome. You should definitely go see it in the movie theater. When I left the theater, I wanted to go jump off fucking buildings. I literally wanted to do donuts in the parking lot. It does have a love story plot line, but it also has a secondary story, which is where all the action comes from. And the action is great. It is the best played out action sequences ever. And they are all done by stuntmen throughout this whole movie. This whole movie is basically a tribute to all stuntmen in the industry because they get no glory for the work that they do. And they get hurt when they do it. They don't win awards. They barely get shout outs for the work that they do. It's not easy work. They have to be precise. They have to know what they're doing in order to not hurt themselves. And this movie just kind of shines a light on all of that, but also has a fun action story layered underneath a rom-com story. His costuming in this movie, again, was just outstanding. Every outfit he had on in this movie was just chef's kiss. So shout out to the costume designer in this movie. It's just fantastic. There's also a jacket in this movie that my homie is gonna love this jacket in this movie. I love the jacket. I want it. I kind of want it. That is all I'm gonna say about it without getting too far into the nitty gritty. There are a ton of other actors in this movie. I'm not going to go through the whole list of them, but there's one in particular that always blows my mind when he's in movies, and that is Aaron Taylor Johnson. This guy. He was in Kick-Ass, right? But somehow he went from this movie and looking like this person to being in these action movies and looking like this. He looks like a completely different person. He was in Bullet Train. Bullet Train was the first movie that I saw him in where I was like, who is this guy? And then somebody told me who it was and I was like, you got to be fucking kidding me. Shut up. And then I went and I Googled it and I was like, holy shit, that's him. He's also in this movie looking amazing and ripped and all of the things. Doesn't even look like himself. I kind of wonder, does he look in the mirror and think, who is this man? I don't know. Because I look at him and I'm like, you are not the same person. I have jumped into this weird Matrix reality where you don't look like I think you should. But he is also amazing in this movie. 5 stars, high recommendation for me. Definitely go out. See it in theater because the action is really going to be showcased on the big screen with all the sounds and all the things and all the stuff. So just go see it. All of the movies that I talked about today, go see them all and then come back and talk to me about all of them. Tell me what you thought. If I recommended Fracture to you and you had not seen it and you went and saw it and loved it, tell me about it. Hit me up. Hit me in the comments below. Hit me up on Instagram. Let's talk about these movies. I want to talk about Ryan Gosling. Also, give me more recommendations of movies of his that you've seen that you think are fucking awesome. Don't recommend Notebook to me. I'm not going to watch it again. Don't recommend La La Bland to me because I'm not going to finish that movie ever. That was my Ryan Gosling diatribe. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's a little different. I wanted to showcase an actor that I feel now like deserves a little bit of love. He's really hot right now. That's not why this video happened. I planned on putting this video out before Fall Guy even happened, but after I went and saw it, I wanted to combine that movie review with my thoughts about him as an actor, and I think he's great. I think he's awesome. He is incredibly attractive. Oh, I mean, he is. But that is it. That is all. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. If you'd like to support my channel, become a member, join my Patreon, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and kill that bell for your girl. Share this video with your friends. Please. But until the next time we gather, have a killer day. Peace. My Killer Podcast.